Drum roll, please. Today, I bring to you a much anticipated video. Fablehaven, Book 2. So again, this is a predictions video. So I have not seen, well, I've briefly glanced at the cover of this, but I have not read this book at all. I don't even know what it's called. That was a lie, I already knew what it was called. So let us begin. Here's what we have. This is almost more disturbing than the first one. Okay, so there are these two frogs. I'm sensing like a frog sort of theme. Two frogs. One of them is like a sprinkler, and the other one is like an elephant. They're in like a rock sort of cave type thing. I think it might be the entrance to Diagon Alley. It says do not feed on the rock sprinkler statue, probably for a good reason. For instance, if you feed a sprinkler, you're just wasting food. It has a green gem on its belly. I think that's significant somehow. Something I'm noticing about this sprinkler frog is that the water streams don't seem to be obeying the laws of physics. They're kind of doing their own thing. Like maybe they're trying to get into the snake mafia. It's possible. There's pixies again, of course, because who doesn't love angry fairies? These ones look a little bit nicer. Alpha toad, sprinkler frog, with water that defies the laws of physics. I think we're ready to go to the chapter list. Please tell me we have a chapter list. We do have a chapter list. To Mom and Dad for their endless love and support. Aww. If you purchased this book without a cover, you should be aware that this book is stolen property. Well, I'm good, I think. This isn't my book. Shout out to the best people in the world, Evangeline, Ben, Bethany, if you're in on it, for loaning us this book once again. Chapter 1. The new student. Who's the student here? The water? It needs to learn how to be water. Water is wet, yeah, but is it doing the right thing otherwise? Chapter 2. Talking to strangers. Oh, who's talking to strangers? Well, I think that the giant toad in the background on this cover is talking to a very strange sort of sprinkler that maybe people really shouldn't be associating with. So this chapter might be about that. These chapter titles are very vague so far, so it's kind of hard to make predictions, so just let me get in the zone. Extermination procedures. Well, notice how little pixies there are. Okay, so I don't mean to call you tiny, I mean like the quantity. So perhaps everyone just got really annoyed with the pixies and killed them all. Vanessa. Definitely the name of the sprinkler frog. New arrivals. Well, the rocks are new, so maybe they traveled from a far-off land to join the world of Fablehaven. They have Hugo to party with. Tanu. Or is it Tanu? I never know with these four-letter names. So I'm guessing that's the name of the giant toad frog, but it's possible that it like means something. Like, ooh, you can't do that. That's Tanu. The dungeon. Who's in trouble now? Are we talking about the dungeon, not to spoil much, but the dungeon in the bottom of the chapel? If that's the case, all of our lives are in danger. Coulter, I think. That kind of sounds like the name of a centaur. Maybe the giant frog lives with the centaur family, or he has, until he found out that he was adopted and ran away from home. Chapter 9, The Sphinx. All of Fablehaven gets onto an airplane, flies in the sky to Egypt, and visits the Sphinx as just like a field trip, because they never get out. They literally never get out. Everyone was just like, come on, let's go have a fun time. Like, no, it's too expensive, it's across the world. We're like, no, it'll be fun. Nothing could go wrong. Chapter 10, An Uninvited Guest. Maybe the Sphinx is in its own little magical reserve in Egypt. And when people look at it, they're kind of like, whoa, you're a statue. But then the Sphinx is actually like, no, whoa, I'm actually like a giant cat. And so he boards the plane on everyone's journey home. He's stowed away in someone's luggage. So now they're back at Fablehaven, and they're like, hold up, something's not right. We have a giant cat now. And he's made out of rocks, so not the best situation we've ever been in. Chapter 11, Betrayal. I don't want to spoil much here, but someone is going to betray someone else. Chapter 12, Peril in the Night. Don't you mean the Phantom of the Opera? I think that's his nickname. He was given an award in high school, and it said, most likely to be a peril of the night. Chapter 13, The Thief's Net. Who's thieving things? Maybe the Exterminator came to kill all the fairies or pixies or whatever they're called, but then he didn't actually exterminate them because he's like a humanitarian secretly, and so he let them free in the world, and now they're wreaking havoc, and we gotta catch this guy. Also, he has a net. Chapter 14, Reunion. Mr. Frog finds his real parents, but it turns out that they're much tinier than him, and they gave him up for adoption because he was like a giant and he couldn't fit in their house. It's a really tragic story. Chapter 15, Satirical Assistant. Satirical? Satirical. Satirical. I'm gonna spell it right now. It's spelling right across the screen. Do you see it? How do you pronounce that? I need to look it up right now, actually. Dictionary.com, I summon thee. Satirical. Definition. Good, no one else knows what it means either. Containing or using satire. But like, how is it pronounced? Satirical. Satirical. Wait, let's listen to it.
Satire.
Okay, well that's not the right word.
Satirical.
Satirical. I'm a pronunciation master. Satirical assistance. So like, comedy relief? The giant cow walks in and starts making knock-knock jokes when everything is getting really tense and awkward. Chapter 16, Brownie Doors. My favorite chapter. Doors, walls made out of brownies. Tasty. Although problematic because soon I'm not gonna have any doors. Chapter 17, Recovering the Key. Well, did we lose a key? I didn't know that we lost a key. I wasn't informed of this tragedy. Do, re, mi. Which key are we looking for? Chapter 18, Diverging Plans. I think that we need to have a team meeting and talk about like who's really in charge here. Plans usually should not be divergent because they will be hunted down and killed. Chapter 19, The Inverted Tower. So like a tunnel. Chapter 20, The Vault. I've heard about the vault. I just don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil. So if I tell you about the vault, you're gonna be like, what? No. I wish I hadn't known about that. And I'm like, well, same. So I'm just gonna keep it in my head. I'll let you know when the time is right. So like probably in my review after I've read that chapter and know what it's about. Chapter 21, The Quiet Box. In this final chapter, that evil lady from Despicable Me shows up. She puts Kendra and Seth in the box of shame because they're just little troublemakers. That's a really sad ending. I'm sorry, let me think of a better one. The Quiet Box is a relaxation retreat where you stay in this cabin on top of a mountain, and it's shaped like a box, and it's made of cardboard, so it like feels like a box. And you basically just eat sugar cubes and read the Boxcar Children and watch the Box Trolls. And you can box also. You sleep in boxes. You have boxes as pets. You can have a boxer dog as a pet. Should be a good time. And that's it for this book. Those are all the chapters. Of course, we have acknowledgements. I'm thinking it's either going to be about the water, acknowledging that it's been going behind Physics's back, or the parents of this frog, who has been given up for adoption, could acknowledge their past wrongs. And we also have a reading guide in this book. There was one in the last one, but I forgot to mention it. Unfortunately though, that doesn't teach you how to read. But anyways, I'm super excited for this book. I'm very curious to see how that giant frog deals with his emotions. He's had a troubled life so far, and I'm very interested to see this sprinkler in action. I'm guessing that towards the end of the book, this sprinkler will go to like work for a water park or something, but we'll just have to see, won't we? So I'm done predicting. I'm gonna go start reading the book ASAP. That means as quickly as soon as I can. If you're interested in watching my book 1 predictions or my book 1 review, they should both be up, and I will link them in the description for your viewing pleasure. Alright, thank you for watching, and as always, I hope this video did something for your life. It probably didn't. Goodbye.